Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan.
And today we're going to be doing part 2 of our last video, which was predicting the best stat lines for 2019, or for the 2019 season. So we're just going to get started right away because the last video took a while, so we're going to get started bright and early now. We're going to start off with the most receiving yards for a wide receiver. Who is going to get that and how many yards will they have? Let's get this baby roll. Alright. This is a difficult one. Let's see.
You said it's not a difficult one?
It is a difficult one. I am difficult. Going with this one. I feel confident. I don't feel confident in any answers really, but no, this is. We'll see. This will be interesting. All right, whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready. So, we're writing down the number too. Yep.
I don't even know if this is like a good number.
I don't either. I don't know what the numbers are. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Bill, in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's just go down the list and read the names here. All right, I'll start. I have DeAndre Hopkins, and I have 1,497 yards. I remember that. Didn't have to look at it.
I don't remember my number, but I know who I have. I've got Julio Jones, and I have 1,573.
I also have DeAndre Hopkins like Jordan, and I have 1,484 yards. Ryan, since you have a different answer, would you care to explain why you're going with Julio Jones? It's a perfectly valid answer on that, please.
Because if we were making this video a week ago before the Texans had their little trade frenzy, I would have agreed with you guys. But after the addition of Kenny Stills, I just think that Deshaun Watson might use his options a little more. I still think DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver of the game, but when it comes to specific receiving yards, I just think Julio Jones is going to be targeted more because, especially with the addition of Kenny Stills, Deshaun Watson is going to have more time to throw. He's going to have more options. I think he's going to spread the ball around more in 2019.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. You talked about it. This was a week ago. That was a great point. I still think though DeAndre Hopkins, no drop hop. He didn't drop a ball last year.
I like that.
That's going to give. I know. That's going to give Deshaun Watson even more confidence in DeAndre Hopkins, even though he has a new receiver like Kenny Stills. They haven't had any chemistry yet. He's going to continue to go to DeAndre Hopkins, and that's going to get him the most yards this season. And just to counter kind of what you said, I actually think that the addition of Kenny Stills could help DeAndre Hopkins in some ways.
Okay.
Because there's more players on the team. Defenses have to worry about more players doing stuff. And there's always the option that they get hurt because, let's just be honest, Texans receivers are bound to get hurt sometimes. Yeah. But I think that sometimes, of course, DeAndre Hopkins, and I think all three of our opinions, is the best receiver in the league at this point.
Oh, yes.
Right now. But I think that the addition of other players is going to help him. I agree that Julio Jones is close, especially with Calvin Ridley to take away coverage there. Mm-hmm. So that's a good answer. I like that one. Let's move on to our next one, which is most yards for a wide receiver. Sticking with the wide receiver position, let's do it. All right. Isn't that what we just did?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, most touchdowns. Okay. Most touchdowns for a wide receiver. I just really like yards, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, nobody's home in there, is there? Let's see what we got here. Most touchdowns. Not yards, touchdowns. Tuffy. Touchy. Alright.
What?
I saw the answers. This is gonna be funny.
Okay.
17. Jeez. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Actually, I'm gonna change my number.
Wait. Time out. For the record, he initially had 8.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think I showed it to you. Let's go. I think 10 is like a good season for a wide receiver.
Hey, Antonio Brown had 15 last year.
I know.
And he didn't even play in
every
I got
it. Yeah. Doubled 8. 16. All right, right here you have Jordan, even though they can probably see. All right, I have the same as Tyler's, I believe. I have Julio Jones, and kind of, I don't know, we'll explain it in a second here, but
I got DeAndre Hopkins with 17.
I have Julio Jones with 13.
So we did a little switch here.
Yeah, so I think basically the same points are kind of valid for both of our sides here. The same reasoning. It's just depending on, just your personal opinion. You have personal opinions and everything. And like I said about Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley's going to take coverage away, and DeAndre Hopkins is just a maniac in the red zone. So I think that's kind of just the same arguments that we get right there. So Anything you guys want to say?
Well, yeah. How many touchdowns did Julio have in the first 7 games of last year?
That's true, but this is
And-
not last year. This is a new year. This is a new
Okay,
year.
and-
Everyone's predicting the Falcons to be a lot better than they were last year. I think that's going to have implications on their offense mainly is why people are saying that. And that's going to cause a lot of throws to go to Julio Jones. You said it. You had yards.
Yeah,
I think he's going to get a lot of touchdowns as well. And that offense is going to be a very much improved from last year, especially in the red zone going to Julio Jones. That's why I think they got the weapons there. They just got to put it together.
Yeah, just real quick, like I know you kind of said, I think, again, I said Deshaun Watson has a lot of targets. I think Hopkins will be his favorite red zone target. His catch radius and his hands are just the best in the league.
That's true. I agree with that. All right. Let's not lag here. Let's get on to the next one. We're moving on to defense now. We're going to do... Let's do most sacks first, and we'll save the interceptions for last. So most sacks this season, who is going to get that honor? And how many? I actually have no idea what's like the average a lot for sacks. So, yeah. I know the player, though. We're doing player? Player, I thought we were doing team.
I thought you said defense. Defense or player?
We're moving on to the defensive side. The
Oh,
you should have explained it to
gotcha.
us, sweetheart. Okay.
Wait, whoa. T.O. Time out. I meant...
This is sacks? Yeah, most sacks by a single player, yes. I would expect to see the same answer across the board, barring how great one player has been. But we could see a different answer from someone. Are you guys ready? No. Jordan is not ready. He's changing his number.
You gonna put 8 again?
Yeah. All right, ready? Flip it over, guys. Crappy here. Jordan, you read your first. All right, so Tyler was expecting to write Aaron Donald. I did not write Aaron Donald, and I'll tell you what, there is a little bit of bias going to this pick as a Bears fan, but I chose Khalil Mack, and the reason I did not choose Aaron Donald is kind of for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that Aaron Donald, he's a great player, but teams have figured it out. They know ways to try to stop him. Of course, it's not easy to stop him, but they know ways. And then something that Khalil Mack is different from Aaron Donald is Khalil Mack has, in my opinion, a better group of rushers or pass rushers around him. Not saying that the Rams' pass rushing is awful by any means. It's pretty good, but I believe Khalil Mack is better. And as a Bears fan, this is just really what I'm hoping for. 19 for Khalil. You made a good point there, Jordan, but I just feel like Aaron Donald is just so dominant, and he has been for the past couple of years, obviously winning Defensive Player of the Year consecutively. That is not easy to do. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it again this year and get a lot of sacks as well.
I'm with you.
Interested. Okay, as we erase now to player interceptions, I believe. Player interceptions on defense. This is tough. Which player will have the most interceptions this year? And how many? It is a toughie, exactly. I don't know what's in average amount. There's so many good cornerbacks in the league. It's like people could. Oh, I like Tyler's pick. I saw it. Thank you. Man, I want to pick it, but I'm not going to cheat from him. You could, if that's what you think.
Are we doing a number for this?
I'm not going to do it. Actually, no.
Yeah, do a
do
number.
it. Thank you. I appreciate that you are just copying off of me. I mean, seriously. How rude is that?
What's a lot of interceptions?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Well, you're not going to get an interception every game, so I would say you could get 2 interceptions in one game. There's 16 games that you're going to play. I got it.
I'll just say...
All right, let's go turn these boards. Now, me and Tyler have Denzel Ward. Ryan has Jalen Ramsey. I thought about Jalen Ramsey. I thought about Kyle Fuller, as he had a lot last year. Didn't want to be biased this time, so I chose Denzel Ward for sakes that he's just going to be a breakout guy. And Tyler lit up first, so I'll let him explain his reasoning because it's probably the same as mine, and I stole it from him. Ryan, first you explain yours, and we'll get to Tyler's.
All right, so... I think Denzel Ward's a great young player. When I look at Jalen Ramsey, I look at the quarterbacks in his division, and he's going to get to play a quarter of his games are going to be against Jacoby Brissett and Marcus Mariota. 4 out of 16, he'll be playing those 2 quarterbacks. Those 2 aren't the strongest quarterbacks, and I think those are going to be games that he'll have an opportunity to get a lot of interceptions, guys that haven't been able to prove their consistency long term, so I think he could be able to take advantage of them. And he's just part of a great defensive unit in a team that was just I think it's a team that's kind of being overlooked. He's part of a great defensive unit with Khalil Mack. You talked about how he has good pass rushers around him. I think it's a similar situation for Jalen Ramsey. Great secondary down there in Jacksonville and great defense overall. I think Jalen leads the league in picks.
Yep, that is a very solid answer to go with. But I went with something I thought was a little interesting, little fun. But this is actually what I think. Obviously, as me writing it down, I do think Denzel Ward is going to have the most interceptions this year. And here's why. Ryan talked about it with the Titans, and in that division, there's the Bengals in that division who have Andy Dalton as quarterback. There's a running back in that division, and Lamar Jackson. I was going to say.
I had to say
Sorry,
it.
Lamar.
I love it.
If you're watching this, thank you, but you're
only
probably
got about
not.
5 chances
Ravens
to pick
fan,
out Lamar.
let's be honest. Lamar Jackson.
Is a running back.
He's not a running back, but he's a running quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see this year. That's a different topic to talk about at a different time, but it's going to be interesting to see what Lamar Jackson does. That offense is a very run-heavy offense, as Mark Ingram, Justice Hill, and Lamar Jackson, obviously all decent runners. So it's going to be interesting to see that. This is not a Ravens video. This is a
save it for the Ravens deep dive.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one, actually. Yeah. Maybe we might do that in the future eventually.
Yep. But yeah, I was about to get to Lamar Jackson as well. There have been a lot of reports from the Ravens that they are going to try and pass a lot more this year, and I feel like that is going to cause some mistakes for Lamar Jackson, especially earlier in the season, and that'll cause some interceptions. Of course, Denzel Ward will be playing him twice in 1 year, and of course against Andy Dalton, and he's just a ball-hawking quarterback anyways. Going into his second year now, you hear sophomore slump. I don't think he's going to have that at all. He's just going to improve vastly on last season, and you're going to see it in the interceptions.
Yeah, second year. He was drafted 4th overall in 2018. Yeah, 4th overall.
Do you have anything to say about that, Jordan? You're good.
I was going to say, going off what both of you guys said about divisions. Also, Ben Roethlisberger in that division, he's a great quarterback, but sometimes he throws a lot of picks. So.
That's true. I had him in fantasy last year, so.
He gets points, but he throws a lot of picks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually when I see that -2, I'm like, yep, I just threw a pick. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. That's all we're going to do for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was part 2 of our 2-part stats predictions, or best stat predictions for 2019, as Jordan has on his whiteboard. Thanks very much. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Yeah, we will comment some questions. We might do a video where we answer questions. If there's enough questions, we will definitely do a video like that.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Do what Jordan said and do what I said as well, and we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.